Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Anxiety Chats. I'm Emily. For those of you that haven't met me before, I like to talk on here about anxiety. Today, I thought I would share a little story, because I have been living with my partner now for about 7 or 8 months, and we have been together 4.5 years. Before that, I also had another long-term relationship, and so I have dated with anxiety. I actually, no spoilers, but I actually went on Tinder, and that's how I found Drew. Found him sitting there. So I thought I would explain what that was like dating, especially on a dating app, when you have severe anxiety. So first of all, I had a breakup, quite a big breakup. Me and my ex were together for 6 years, from when we were about 15, so it was a very young situation. And we broke up and we were split up for a while, which was obviously really hard. That's another video for another day. Of being single and going through a breakup with anxiety is really hard. But I decided I'm going to go on Tinder. And for those of you that for some reason don't know what Tinder is, it's a dating app. Nowadays, probably back then as well, it was probably used more for hookups and less for finding romance, which is totally fine. But I wasn't really looking for that. I was looking for more of a relationship, and I am bisexual, so I was looking for a man or a woman, anyone. It was really weird. The first thing that I found really difficult was a little bit better from how I had been before, but I still had agoraphobia, and OCD and anxiety and panic attacks and all these different things. So I knew that if I was going to meet somebody, they had to be very kind, very understanding, which I wasn't sure if I would find. Like, I think a lot of people with anxiety or any mental health illness or any invisible illness at all kind of feel like, well, why would anyone want me? Because, I come with all this stuff. I always thought, like, why would somebody want to go out with somebody with agoraphobia? Like, we won't be able to go on holiday. We won't be able to, do like lots of things. Like, me and Drew still haven't gone to the cinema together. We've been together 4.5 years. It's not easy to be with somebody with such severe anxiety. So I kind of was nervous about that. But I got chatting to a few different people. I went on a couple of different dates with people in my area. And one thing I always did when I met somebody online, if we both swiped right, is I would say to them straight away, I would always say, like, I have agoraphobia. It's quite severe. I have anxiety. I have panic attacks. And the reaction was very different across the board. Some people, I remember talking to this one guy about, like, we were chatting away, and I told him, like, oh, I have panic attacks and I have agoraphobia. And he was like, well, what's that? And I was like, it's where I, struggle sometimes to leave, like, my small town. And he was like, well, what's the point? And I was like, you're probably not the one for me. And there was another girl I was speaking to. We were together in real life, in person. And I explained to her too. And she was, again, the same reaction was, what's the point? Like, what's the point in your life kind of thing. So varied, mixed bag. Some people found it really hard to understand, and I really was kind of like, if you don't get it, that's totally fine, but obviously you're not the one for me. And I often as well, I have my own personal YouTube channel on YouTube, and I would send them my videos. I make YouTube videos about anxiety, and so I'd send them my videos and be like, just to let you know, this is me, this is what I go through, and it's probably the most vulnerable you could possibly be with somebody. I know for some people that would fill them with absolute fear, but I was kind of thinking, like, I've never met any of these people. I don't have a connection to them yet. Like, I don't feel anything. So I might as well right now discover whether they are somebody that is open-minded or not, kind of thing. And when I met my partner currently, I was sending him my YouTube videos and he was like, cool, that's amazing. Wow, like, I'm so impressed. I was like, I like this guy. I remember arranging to meet him, and I was just so nervous. Like, but it was kind of nice to experience nerves in a way. There wasn't anxiety. Like, anxiety to me, or panic, is like all consuming, feel like you might need to call 999. Whereas nerves is kind of like, oh God, I hope he likes me. But obviously quite intense. I remember our first ever date, we arranged to meet at a specific point, and I was walking along there and I was like, oh my God, shall I just turn up the street? Shall I just turn up the street? Shall I just go home? Shall I just run? Like, maybe I can just not meet him. I'll just text him and say, sorry, I can't meet you. But I remember walking along and I saw him and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And we met and it was really nice. And that's a nice tip for if you're somebody with anxiety and you're going on a first date. Make it something that's like short. Like, we met maybe for like an hour. And it's kind of just like testing the waters. Like, you're not a murderer, are you? No, cool. You're not a murderer, are you? No, cool. That's great to know. First hurdle out of the way. But we met somewhere I was super comfortable. He was right outside a pub that I used to work in, kind of near where my parents lived. We just sat on a bench and chatted and had a wee drink on the beach, and it was really lovely. And we were both just like, I actually remember, this is so lame, I can't believe I'm admitting it, but I remember writing down questions before of like, if I run out of things to say, I could ask him these questions. So they were really lame questions. Nothing wrong with being lame at all, but ugh, God, dating with anxiety is so hard. For me, the thing that really helps, or really helped at the time, was being completely open and honest, because I felt like it was a bit of a, you can leave if you want, like, this is, but it's not going to change. Like, this is what I suffer with. This is the illnesses I have. I also have many other qualities to me that aren't this, but this is something, because I remember texting Drew, my partner now, saying like, I might have a panic attack when we first meet, and if I suddenly leave or suddenly, something happens, then it's not you, it's just that I, have panic attacks. And it was not easy, but looking back, I actually think really fondly of it. And I think, oh my God, I was so brave doing that, because that's putting yourself out there to the max. And people, I think, that don't have anxiety find first dates really difficult, or interviews, or whatever it is. Like, we have things that people often find quite difficult. First date's definitely up there. It's not easy at all, first dates. Whew. So if you're somebody that is currently about to go on a first date, or you're dating, those are my tips. Definitely, well, for me, it really helped to talk about it beforehand. Also, remember, you are in control of the situation. You can get up at any point and just leave. If you're having a panic attack, you can get up and just leave and text them. If they're somebody that is going to be for you, if there's somebody kind, if there's somebody understanding, then they will be like, cool, that's no problem. If there's somebody that's like, angry about it, they're probably not, it probably wouldn't work out with them. Dating apps can be really good fun. I actually know some people online that are both agoraphobic. This is a pretty cool story. I'd like to tell it one day, or maybe get them on the podcast. If you would like to hear their story, let me know. But they're two people that both have agoraphobia, and they are in a relationship. So they've never met in real life, but they have a relationship where they are kind of on FaceTime, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they have a really lovely, like, close bond, and they seem very, very happy, but they've never met in real life. So, there's a million trillion different ways to have a relationship. It doesn't have to look like you will do this for this many years and you will get married and have children. There's so many ways to date thing. It doesn't have to be the regular way that people tell you to. Make it comfortable for you. That's the only thing that matters, really, is that you're feeling comfortable and you're feeling safe and you're feeling happy. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you'd like any more dating type videos, do let me know. If you have any specific stories you'd like to tell me about your dating stories, I would love to react to them online, so please let me know. And there's lots of other videos here on this channel if you would like to go and have a wee flick through, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Bye!